Here's a little tour of some of my posters to show you that Bloodhook is up here, along with Pieces the Burning, Tourist Trap, Motel Hell, The Mutilator, which I did for one of those. Don't Go in the House. I was going to do that this week, but decided on Bloodhook, so that's coming soon, obviously. So will Motel Hell, Tourist Trap, obviously, as well as Nightmare Beach, aka Welcome to Spring Break, and Slumber Party Massacre 2. Can't wait to do that series. Sorority House Massacre as well. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Nightcrawler. That's one that, I don't know, I always feel like it fits. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys some posters, a little something different here, but Bloodhook. Let's talk about it. All right, I'm ready. Bloodhook. This is a 3-pack that also has Blades, which is a Jaws ripoff, except for instead of a shark, it's a lawnmower. Yes, you heard me right, a lawnmower. And it's hilarious. And a movie called Zombie Island Massacre, which I've yet to ever watch. A buddy of mine recommended me Bloodhook a few years back. I watched it and I loved it. As you saw, I have a poster on my wall framed with a lot of my other favorite unknown slasher and horror movies. Not all of those posters obviously were unknowns, but the majority of them at the time when I got them were. Now some of them are getting like Blu-ray releases, which is wonderful, and I'm glad that they're starting to get recognition. I doubt this one will ever get that kind of recognition. IMDb used to be like a 3.1 or 2 or something insane. Now that it's on Amazon Prime to watch, it's shot up to like a 4.1, so it's starting to get some kind of recognition, which is nice. As far as like, people being like, okay, this is at least fun or cheesy, and which is absolutely is. I am not going to tell you this is a quality film in the slightest. This is a very shitty movie. But I just freaking love the concept. I love so many things about it, and I'll get into that obviously. This was directed by James Mallon, one of the creators or one of the people behind Mystery Science Theater 3000. So of course it's ironic that he made such a shitty film, but not to me shitty, but you know what I mean. The transfer on this is horrible, and I checked on Amazon Prime while I was watching this because I was like, well, maybe they have a better copy because, man, it's hard to see much. And their copy is no better. So I wish they do have this on by itself, Bloodhook now. And if the quality was better, if someone can tell me if they have that DVD and like the quality is better than the one on Amazon Prime, I would pick it up because, God, this will never get a Blu-ray. But hey, never say never. But I don't know. Trauma releasing a Blu-ray. We'll see. Now, obviously I'm going to get into spoilers here. But before I do, if people are just kind of like, hey, I want to watch this first. I think what I really enjoy about this movie is the uniqueness of its concept and its plot. This takes place on a lake during Musky Madness, which is a fishing competition where everyone goes out and tries to, catch the biggest muskie they can and bring it back, and they weigh it and whatnot. And these people take this very, very seriously. My mic is having serious issues, as you can tell. I don't know if it's the shirt. I don't know. Whatever. But the killer in this movie, his weapon of choice, and the weapon that he uses throughout the movie, is a fishing pole. And the reason he kills people is probably my favorite part of this film. But his tool alone, like the fact that like you got Michael Myers using a kitchen knife and Jason using his machete and Freddy using his glove and Leatherface with his chainsaw. This guy uses a fishing pole with a huge lure on it and he fishes over at people and he pulls them in and he grabs them and he hooks them like fish and he keeps them on the dock to keep them cool. And I love it. I love it. I love that shit. I love unique killers, something that we've never seen before, and this is something I've never seen before, and it's something I probably will never ever see again, unless you know of another one where there's a fisherman killer in a horror movie, but I do not know of any. So let's get into the movie itself. Spoilers from here on, even though I talked a little bit about spoilers of what it is, but I'm trying to get you to watch it. If you like uber cheesy, horribly shot, horribly acted, there's very little good about this movie, I'm not gonna lie, but it is charming as fuck to me personally. So yeah. Now, the reason that the killer is killing in this movie is because of the Diablos en Musica. Yes, the name of the Slayer album. There is a certain pattern of music, I guess, that was banned once upon a time because it was said to incite insanity in people, or like illicit insanity, get it out of people, and they banned that arrangement of music forever. But nowadays, like, it's in all, like, a bunch of the music we listen to, and that's why everyone's crazy now, I suppose. And for some reason, this guy, every time he hears it, any song that's playing with those, that musical arrangement that makes up the Diablos en Musica, he freaks out and has to go grab his fishing pole and cast off and pull these people back in. And when he takes that hook, I'm not a fisherman, so I don't know a lot of these. I know that there's technical terms, so if there's some fishermen, you can tell me what all these things are. But when how, like, you keep the fish, like, you hook them and you keep them on a little string, like a couple of them together to keep them in the water so they're fresh and stay cold while you continue to keep fishing. That's what he keeps his victims on, and he keeps them on the dock and they're below the water, and like he pulls them up out of the water and they're all bloated and their eyes are bulging out. That scene's fucking amazing. I'd love to see this movie cleaned up because there's some great practical effects work here. Not only are the bodies that he pulls out of the water look awesome, but when he's like putting the hook through the guy's face, like under here and out his mouth, and awesome shit, man. Now, as I said, a lot of this movie is super silly, but it makes me laugh a lot. When they pull up to Ludke's place and, they're there for minnows, the kid is looking and he finds a stud finder, and the guy's like, all right, here you go, kid, you can have it, it's on the house. And then the dad comes up with the minnows and he's like, how much? And he's like, you go ahead, sir, you take it. There's like a metal pail and all these fish in there. Ludke is just giving everything out for free. This guy's going out of business, man. He needs to, and if you see, like, even though the film's pretty fucked up and you can't really see all that much, his business looks horrible. It looks like a condemned building that they threw a couple things on the shelf. It's funny. I'm guessing that's probably what happened. The movie's so low budget that they found like an abandoned building and we're like, all right, we're going to film in here, throw a couple things on the wall and make them look for sale. We're not even going to bother cleaning up. It's so bad. They would have him closed down in a second if, anyone showed up to investigate the place. Everyone in this movie is just outrageous. The killer is one obvious character, but the nutcase with the rifle and the beard, I can't remember his name at the moment. He is just hilarious. Some of the shit he says in this is wonderful, and Bev is great as well. This chick, oh my god, the amount of shit this girl does in this movie as a parent alone was cracking me up. She goes on a run out in the woods, like miles. She says she runs miles. She runs like 4 or 5 miles a day, and she leaves her baby, her infant, who's like 1 or 2 at best, maybe 2, in a crib in the backyard out in the open. And when the guys who she brings back to her house to possibly have a 3-way with, and she ends up fucking one of them, they ask, like, aren't you afraid that like a bear's gonna get him? She's like, well, yeah, but you know, they probably won't. Like, it is so insane. And then like the killer comes for him and the baby's out by the water. She's doing like sit-ups or push-ups. She's working out. Oh no, she's doing like dumbbells, and she's doing, you know, chest exercises, and she's got her eyes closed and she's listening to music as her baby is playing down at the edge of the lake. He's just sitting there splashing in the water, and he's like in his little inner tube, and he's floating out there, and she's just working out, keeping her eyes closed. And the killer comes and he sticks the kid with the fishing lure, and he pulls it away, and it doesn't stick in the kid, but it cuts his leg open, and the mom screams and runs over to her kid. Oh my God, what the hell? And she's freaking out for like a second. Then they cut away from her for a minute, and then they come back, and she's just running with that dude, and she's laughing, and they're, you know, doing this and that, and then they go back in the house and they start fucking around. It's hilariously stupid. No character is realistic in the slightest. Yeah, that's right. When they ask whether or not the bears will get him, she's like, yeah, it's possible, but you know, I don't give him any sweets before I put him in there. That's how she tries to justify what she's doing. Oh my good God. The music in this movie is great, man. I just, something about it works for me. Not just, you know, not the music that, you know, gets him to go crazy, but the actual score in the movie. I think it's great. The scene where this girl gets hooked on the dock towards the end, the guy's girlfriend, she gets hooked, she gets the hook out of her, runs away, and then she goes and she waits for the slowest moving platform in the history of ever. And she just keeps waiting there and is screaming. She keeps pressing the button. I love how people do that in movies. Like when the elevator's not coming fast enough, they just keep pushing it. Like, oh my God, this is going to make it go faster. It's like, that's not going to make it go faster. I get it. You're just nervous and you don't know what else to do. But she's waiting for this thing and it's slow. And she's like, hurry up, hurry up. And it's like, it's not going to go any faster. But then he comes and he rows his boat around, and she actually like sees him like reeling it in, and she's screaming, oh my God, oh my God. And then he casts it back and she's like, I don't know what to do. She's standing on like the side of the dock. There's a wall right next to her, back to the other side of the dock. And she just stands there, and he finally casts it, and she screams, and then it cuts away, and I guess he got her. Like she didn't just run to the other side of the wall or to the other side of the dock, or ran around and there's no other way up. Like, the whole movie is stupid, so I'm not going to knock ridiculous scenes. If I was, I'd be knocking the whole film. And then when he gets her back to his place, for some reason he hasn't killed her yet. I don't understand why. The boyfriend waits an entire full day after knowing his girlfriend has been kidnapped to then come after him, and he has to prepare by like practicing fishing to make sure he can also, you know, compete with him and lure and stick him, which is ridiculous. He doesn't bring a gun. He doesn't bring like another couple people, and he goes out on a boat instead of like coming in the land. It's so fucking stupid. I love it. But when he has the girl back at his place, she's psychoanalyzing the guy. And she's just like trying to make him understand, like, you know, you probably don't want to kill me. This is probably stemming back to your childhood and blah, blah, blah. And when he's trying to lock her in the refrigerator, she's like, you probably don't really want to do this, but, you know, I'm an adult and I'll live. And it's like, and she's like, you probably don't want to kill me. I'm an adult, but that's okay. I can live with it. Who wrote that dialogue? I can live with it if you kill me. Fuck me, man. It's so good. And the fight. I mean, the fight. when he comes to his dock and he puts on the fucking, boom box, and I was expecting him to put it over his head, like say anything. And he comes out and they have the fishing battle. Like they're fishing for each other, and he gets stuck in the chest and he's like fighting. He's holding onto it while he grabs his pole and he throws it back and he hooks him and he's pulling him and he gets him in the neck. It's so good. How could people not love this shit? It's so stupid. I always wonder that, like when I watch these movies, I'm like, I don't understand how people don't find this hilarious. How people don't have a fun time with these shitty old horror movies. I don't understand. They always like quality films. Like, how boring is that? I'm not saying those are bad. I'm just saying, like, that's all you watch. You can't find the humor in these movies. I don't get it. And the killer at the end of this movie just runs off. Like, he just, like, here's the cops, and he's gone. And it's hilarious. It's just like, the guy didn't think to tackle him. The cops didn't run after him. Nothing. Like, he just runs off and his throat's gouged, so he's like, and then at the end of the movie, we hear him running through the woods, and he's still out there. Oh my God, people were terrified leaving this movie. They were looking everywhere for fishing lines. Like, no. The he's still out there thing in this movie is a laugh and a half. But anyway, has anyone ever seen this movie? I adore it. I said that enough, but I'm curious on if people watch this, they're going to probably come back here and be like, what the fuck? This is garbage. And it is. I agree, but I don't know. There's something so unique about it. I love it. So, all right. Slasher Sunday has come to an end for this week. I look forward to this every week, as does Ray Robinson, as he hits me up all the time to ask me when I'm recording this. So, Ray, as usual, this one's for you, buddy. All right, guys.